The science of déjà vu, glitches in the matrix. Have you ever walked into a place you've never been, but suddenly felt like you've been there before? Or been in a conversation that feels strangely familiar? That, my friends, is déjà vu. That eerie feeling like you're reliving a moment, but you can't explain why. Today, we're diving into the science behind déjà vu, and whether it might actually be a glitch in the matrix. Before we jump in, if you love exploring the mysteries of the mind, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into it. What is déjà vu? Déjà vu literally translates to already seen in French. It's that split-second sensation where your brain is tricking you into thinking a moment has already happened. Déjà vu happens to roughly 60 to 80% of people at least once in their lifetime. And you know what? Most of us just brush it off as one of those weird things the brain does. But what if I told you there's some pretty fascinating science behind why we experience it? Let's look at the brain science to get a better idea. Section 2, the neuroscience behind déjà vu. So what's going on in our brain when we feel déjà vu? There's a theory that déjà vu is a mismatch in the brain. Imagine this. Your brain's memory regions, like the hippocampus, are constantly making connections and recalling information. When you experience something that's almost similar to a memory, but not quite, it can cause a little misfire. This misfire gives us the sense that we're reliving a moment, even though we're not. Scientists call this the dual processing theory. Essentially, our brain processes information on two different tracks, one for recognizing things we've seen before, and another for checking for new info. If those tracks overlap or get mixed up, it can lead to that familiar but puzzling déjà vu feeling. Think of it like when your phone glitches and briefly shows you a screen you've seen before. It's not real, but it feels real for a moment. Now, you might be wondering, does déjà vu mean there's something wrong with our brain? Section 3. Is déjà vu a sign of a brain problem? Good question. Here's the comforting news. Déjà vu is generally considered normal. It's not linked to any specific brain disorder in most cases. But there are some instances where déjà vu can be more than just a quirky brain glitch. For instance, people with epilepsy might experience intense déjà vu right before a seizure. In those cases, déjà vu can be a warning signal rather than just a random feeling. But for the vast majority of us, it's just a harmless phenomenon. Scientists believe it may even help our brains fine-tune memory processing. So next time you feel déjà vu, don't freak out. Your brain's probably just doing a little tune-up. Now, let's address something fun that a lot of people wonder about. Section 4. Could déjà vu be a glitch in the matrix? Alright, let's dive into the glitch in the matrix theory. If you're a fan of sci-fi, you might have heard people suggest that déjà vu is actually evidence that we're living in a simulated reality. So what's the argument here? Well, proponents of the simulation hypothesis, like famous astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, suggest that if we were living in a computer simulation, glitches might appear in our experience of reality, like déjà vu. But here's the deal. While it's fun to think about, most scientists see déjà vu as more of a psychological phenomenon than proof we're in the matrix. Our brains are complex enough to create strange experiences without the help of a simulated reality. So unless you see a black cat walk by twice in a row, you're probably safe. Still, it's fascinating how the mystery of déjà vu continues to spark these kinds of theories. Section 5. Why do we experience déjà vu more in certain situations? Alright, so you might have noticed that you tend to experience déjà vu in specific types of situations, like when you're on vacation, or in places that are similar to somewhere you've been before. One theory here is called contextual similarity. When you're in an unfamiliar setting, but encounter a specific detail that's similar to something in your past, your brain could trigger that déjà vu feeling. This is your mind's way of trying to match patterns, even when there isn't a perfect match. Imagine you're in a new city that reminds you a bit of a town you visited years ago. Your brain might just skip a beat and flash that familiar sensation. Déjà vu could be your mind trying to navigate an unfamiliar place by referencing your past experiences. Some people ask, but if déjà vu is tied to memory, does that mean people with memory problems don't experience it? Interestingly, studies show that even people with memory disorders like amnesia can still have déjà vu. It's not purely about specific memories, it's more about how the brain processes information in the moment. So déjà vu isn't just a brain quirk or a glitch in the matrix. It's a fascinating phenomenon that shows just how complex and mysterious our minds can be. So, what do you think? Is déjà vu just a trick of the mind, or could there be something more to it? If you enjoyed exploring this mystery with me, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us dive even deeper into questions just like this one. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a déjà vu experience that really shook you. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.